Alright, so I just wanted to hop on and do another quick update and kind of talk about maybe a possible change in direction that I'm going with the diet. So yeah, my goal for this month, like I made a video talking about, I do a habit tracker every month, and I was talking about, there was 2 habits on there that were kind of related to my diet. One of them was, actually, I have it right here. I wanted to start tracking my meals again, and I've kind of done that off and on this year. And back whenever I was trying to do the bodybuilding, I got a little bit like obsessive with tracking everything, because I was trying to hit, like I had a coach that had given me like a certain, some macros that I was supposed to hit, and I was like, it was all kind of new to me, like tracking macros and tracking food in MyFitnessPal. And so I stuck to that pretty solidly for a couple of months, but I haven't been doing it lately. So I wanted to try to get back on that so that whenever I do start to train again, if I have a coach like giving me macros, one of the reasons it was kind of hard and time consuming when I had done it before was because I just wasn't as familiar with tracking, and like but now that I'm more familiar with like using MyFitnessPal and everything like that, like it's a little bit easier. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of get in the routine and the habit of meal tracking so that when it does get down to it, whenever I do compete, I'll sorry, I'm rambling a little bit, but basically that was one of my goals, was to start meal tracking again just to get in the habit of doing it. And another thing was not eating any meat and dairy whatsoever. Like I had mentioned before that I typically eat a plant-based diet, and however, I have a roommate that isn't vegan, and so I was like eating a lot of his leftovers and things like that. And so I wanted to try to cut back from that. And I haven't been doing very well with either of them. He's been like, so one of the reasons, so I'm making excuses right now, but one of the excuses I have is that school and work has just been pretty busy this month, and it's taken up a lot of my time. And so I've been really trying to focus on that, because if there's a few things with work and school that if I can finish them up this month, then it will make my summer like immensely easier with less stress. So I've really been focusing more on school and work. And then also my roommate has been bulking, and so he's trying to eat a lot more. So he's eating a lot more often, but he's still like, he tries to eat more, but like he can't eat a lot at one sitting. So he's one of those that like eats throughout the day several times during his bulk, because he just doesn't have the appetite to eat like a ton in one sitting. And so there's been a lot of leftovers. There's been more times that he's gone out to eat, and sometimes when we go out to eat, I'll order something vegan, and then I may eat that, and then maybe he has leftovers that we bring home, and then I'll eat that. So I haven't been sticking to the no meat or dairy because I've been eating some of his leftovers, and then I've also not been tracking it. So but I will say, since my first video, I haven't gained weight, because that's basically been what I've been doing for the last few months, is eating somewhat similarly to that. So I guess not a lot has changed over this last month in terms of my diet. I will say I've been drinking more sodas, and I'm kind of embarrassed to admit that I drink soda, but it's hard. Like that's, some people are addicted to alcohol. For me, it's sodas. Like it's one of those things that I've gotten off of them for times, for months at a time, but it's like, and then I'll think, well, I can just have one, and then it just spirals from there. But then it's also weird because there's certain times that like I'll quit without trying. Like it's just all of a sudden I'm like, man, I've had too many one day, and then I just don't drink them for a while. So I don't know, my relationship with soda is a little bit weird, but I've definitely been drinking more sodas lately, and I think it's related to kind of the stress with school, because I do feel like having that quick like sugar rush helps me to be able to focus more. So if like I'm like trying to study or work and I'm getting like tired, or feeling a little bit of brain fog, I, will turn to like having a soda. And I have like those little mini cans, because even though I would drink a lot of sodas before, I was one of those that used to waste them, or I would have like one soda and I would drink on it the whole day. So I've got some of those mini cans, so I'm not like drinking like a big gulp or whatever multiple times a day. It's like 1 or 2 of those little mini cans. I don't know how many ounces it is, maybe like 7.5. But yeah, I think that's one thing that's been bad that I'm wanting to try to move away from, or at least if I'm gonna do it, just have like 1 a day for sure. Because I think there's been some days I had like 3. Typically it was like 2, some days 3. I think maybe one day there was 4. So something I want to try to get under control. But yeah, okay, so I'm rambling a lot, but what I want to say here is that I think what I'm going to try, let's see, for the rest of this month, it's the 19th, so got about 11 days left in the month, and I think I'm gonna try alternate day fasting. And I know there's a lot of people have opinions on fasting, and some people are in favor of it, some people aren't. I haven't looked really deeply into like the literature, the scientific literature of it. So if there is like literature for or against it, I don't really know. But what I can say is, in the past, my body typically does react well to fasting. I feel like I've just noticed this for a long time, that if I eat earlier in the day, it makes me hungrier throughout the day, and then it also makes me feel more tired. So I don't purposely like try to not eat during the day for most days, but like if I don't have like any social obligations, or if there's not just like food sitting around me, I typically wouldn't eat on most days. Like there's some days that I'm just hungry like all day, but that's like not very often. It's maybe like 1 or 2 days out of the month that I think probably coincide with my cycle. But just if I was alone and not having any other like reason to eat, I typically would do like intermittent fasting just naturally. Like I think that's how my body just naturally does most of the time. But like I said, like having my roommate going out to eat all the time, and he'll be like, hey, do you want to come? And it's just put me like, I won't be hungry when we go, but then like I'll get there and there's food around and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll eat. So I don't think, if I'm purposely trying to fast, I don't think it's going to be that hard for me. And I think having it in my mind that like, oh, I'm going to fast this day, it'll be easier for me to like say no to eating when I'm not hungry. But I don't know, this is just an experiment, and we'll see how it goes. I fasted before. I fasted for multiple days before just to see what happened. This was like, I don't know, a year ago or so. And I think I went like 3 days, and I found personally that I didn't really get hungry. Like, especially, it depends on when you start in your cycle for me. Because there's some days that I feel like there would be no way that I could fast, just because that would be a particular day that I'm just like really extra hungry. But I feel like right now it would be really easy for me. And actually, I've already started it a little bit. I fasted yesterday. It wasn't like a 100% fast, because I had coffee in the morning, but I drink my coffee black, so there's no creamer or anything in there. So technically that's still fasting. Later on in the afternoon, I want to say this was around like 4 or 5 o'clock. Yeah, I didn't really get hungry at all yesterday. So after it had gotten to be like 4 o'clock, I'm like, you know what? Why don't I just fast today? I haven't been hungry all day. I'm still not really hungry. So I'm just gonna make it a fast day. And I did have this, like I got this a while back from Apothecary. I've kind of tried out some of their stuff, and I haven't done a review on it because I feel like I don't have enough experience with it or information to say one way or the other whether it's good or bad. And but this was something they sent. I have their little seasonal box, and so every season they send you some things, and I got this a couple months ago and I haven't been using it, so I'm like, you know what, maybe on my fast days I can start having this. But they sent this with honey, or not honey, syrup, maple syrup. And so I had this at like 4 or 5 o'clock, which the maple syrup I think would break the fast because it's got the sugars in it. So technically I guess I broke the fast with this. And then also I don't normally drink, and I wasn't necessarily like craving this, but I just got in the mood to have like a little bit of wine. I didn't even have like a full glass. I had maybe like this much. But yeah, so we had some wine last night while we watched episodes of Hercules. But anyway, yeah, so I went ahead and fasted, and so far this morning I'm not hungry. I don't feel hungry. So I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go. I can't decide whether I want to fast today too, or if I want to start it like, okay, I've started my alternate day fasting yesterday, and then so today I'll eat and tomorrow. But I'm honestly not hungry right now, so I don't know. I may fast today or I may not. I haven't fully decided how I'm gonna do it, and I'm also thinking through like, what day do I want to fast and eat. The only day that I really have anything like kind of limiting me a little bit is on Thursday. This Thursday I have class, and I normally go to bed super early at like 9, but the class actually goes until 10:45. So that's gonna be a really long day. I mean, they normally let us out early. I'll get out at like hopefully by 9, but then I have an hour drive back home, and so it's gonna be a late night for me. So I don't know whether it would be better or worse to fast on that day. So I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna do that, but actually it might be easier to fast on that day. Hold on. If I eat on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Sorry, I should have had this already worked out. I don't know. I'm just gonna play it by ear today. Actually, I think I may fast today. You know what? I'll just figure it out this week. I'm sorry. I should have had like a whole plan for this, but I think I'll just kind of figure it out this week, and then I'll give an update next week on like how it went and what I decided to do. But yeah, it feels like I'm in the right place to do a fast, and almost like my body's kind of wanting to fast, so I'm gonna give it a try and see. But yeah, I don't know if I should do, yeah, I think I'll do a quick like update on where I'm at. I don't think my body has changed that much since that one I did a couple weeks ago. I will say, I think the upper body exercises that I've added, I definitely feel a difference, but I'm starting to see it, I think. I kind of want to flex, but then I don't, because there's not really anything there, but I'm starting to see like a little bit of a bicep showing up, and I feel like maybe there's some definition in my shoulders coming out. I don't know. You can't, but there's a little tricep there. So yeah, I definitely think like incorporating just that really brief like 5-minute upper body workout, I do think I'm seeing like some results from that. So yeah, I'll go and do like my measurements and photos and everything. Okay, so the last video I did some poses in kind of the workout stuff that I wear every day. and then also my bra and underwear. So I'm gonna go ahead and show that here just for an update. I don't know, like I don't feel that much different. Like these pants still feel a little bit tight on me, but maybe they're a little bit looser. And still, I think one of the issues was like, you know, this bra is kind of tight and making, I don't know, I can't really tell from this. Maybe I'll see a little bit different if I watch the video back. Maybe there's a little bit of a difference. But like I said, I haven't really been like working out any like any extra. I've basically been doing the same thing that I had been doing. I've just added, I've just been consistent and added in a little bit of the arm exercises. So let me get into my bra and underwear and I will take some measurements to see if there's been a change. Okay, so I'm not really sure. I don't see like a huge difference in the mirror so far. Like I said, for the last, you know, month or two that I've been working out, I feel a difference in just that little 15-minute workout I've been adding on in my legs and in my upper body, but I don't really feel like there's been much of a visual change. So I guess we'll see this week if kind of adjusting my diet and doing the alternate day fasting has like a more substantial impact. But here's where I'm at. I feel like it's about the same as a couple weeks ago. Okay, let me push it out. So there's the front. Here's the side. And the back. So there we have it, and I will do some measurements real quick. So I've written down the measurements last time. I think actually the one that I took in the video, I think I had gotten it a little bit off. So I think that my waist that I said in the video before was actually, I'd measured it a little bit smaller than it actually was. So what I have written down, like as the final measurements from that day, was that my chest was a 34 double D, my waist was at 36 and my hips were at 44. Oh, and I measured my thighs, but I didn't write that down. But I also had some thigh measurements from that other video, so I should probably write that down. So I'll do that again. I'll measure my thighs. So I'm just gonna do my waist, hips, and thighs in this video, I guess. Actually, I'll do around like my chest underneath. So let's go with that. So my chest underneath, I don't see, oops. Okay, let's get it straight. What is this? I can't read it. Do I have it backwards again? Okay, this is awkward. All right, here we go. The chest is that 33? So like underneath my chest, actually, it looks like I have lost some. Before I measured it at a 34 and it looks like it's at a 33 right now. So, okay, there we go. And then, I mean, in terms of like the band where my chest goes. And then for my waist, I really do not feel like I've lost anything in my waist. Okay. Actually, maybe just a little bit. So now it's looking at 35 and a half. And I'd had it at 36 before. right here at my belly button. Okay, so maybe a little bit. And then my hips. Okay, maybe I have lost a little bit. So this is at the widest part of my hips, and I had down 44 the last time, and this looks at a pretty solid like 43.5. Okay, so without even doing anything with my diet and actually eating really terribly, and drinking a lot of sodas, but being consistent with like getting steps every day and doing that little 15-minute workout, it looks like I've lost like a ½ inch over, it hasn't even been a month. I think I took that video, it was Memorial Day weekend in May, so it was probably like May 27th, so right now it's June 19th, so in less than a month, with only, I've been spending an hour doing cardio, which I've been doing that consistently, and like I said, that little like 10 to 15 minute easy workout that I've been doing every day in the morning, even eating pretty badly, I've managed to lose some inches, so that'll be our starting point for this. Oh, I forgot the thighs. Let's see on that. I don't know if those have gotten smaller. I feel like they may have gotten bigger. Okay, so yeah, I think the last time I started at the crease of my knee and then marked up 6 inches. And then went around here. Okay, I don't remember what this was before, but it looks like it's sitting at 22. Was it 23 before? I have no idea. I'll have to go back and look at the video, but now it's at 22, and I think this knee was the same, or this, where's my crease? There it is. 6 inches. Okay, yeah, this is my more dominant leg, and it looks like this one's at 22.5. So, unless I measured wrong, this leg is looking like it's a little bit bigger than this leg. So, there's my update. I think I haven't decided what I'm gonna do for the fast. I may just like do a quick filming like in the morning in my car, just to give like an update on like how I'm feeling, you know, the days of the fast or the days that I'm not fasting, and then maybe clip them together in a video, and then maybe post it next weekend. So this is Sunday, so maybe I'll post an update next Sunday. So we'll see how this alternate fasting week goes.